Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please hit the subscribe. Now this start video. The One Chicago franchise, a beloved trio of interconnected television series, Chicago Med, Chicago Fire, and Chicago PD, has long been a staple of NBC's primetime lineup. Known for its gripping storytelling, compelling characters, and seamless crossovers, the franchise has built a loyal fan base over the years. However, the 2025 One Chicago crossover event, titled In the Trenches, has sparked curiosity among fans due to an unusual scheduling decision. The event will kick off with Chicago Fire instead of Chicago Med, which traditionally airs first in the weekly lineup. This decision, while seemingly minor, is rooted in the narrative structure of the crossover and the franchise's commitment to logical and engaging storytelling. One Chicago crossovers are a hallmark of the franchise, bringing together the characters and storylines of Chicago Med, Chicago Fire, and Chicago PD to tackle a single high-stakes case from multiple perspectives. Typically, these crossovers unfold over the course of a single evening, with each show contributing a segment of the story. While the episodes are broadcast as separate installments, they are intricately connected, creating a cohesive narrative that spans the three series. Historically, the franchise has adhered to a specific airing order during crossover events. Chicago Med, the medical drama, airs first at 8 p.m. ET, followed by Chicago Fire at 9 p.m. ET, and Chicago PD, the police procedural, concludes the night at 10 p.m. ET. This order mirrors the show's regular weekly schedule and reflects the natural progression of events in many crossover storylines. A medical emergency leads to a fire or rescue operation, which then necessitates police involvement. However, the 2025 crossover marks a departure from this tradition. For the first time in several years, Chicago Fire will air before Chicago Med, with the medical drama taking the middle time slot and Chicago PD retaining its usual position as the final episode of the night. This scheduling change is not arbitrary. It is a deliberate choice designed to enhance the storytelling and maintain the logical flow of the crossover's narrative. To fully understand the significance of the 2025 crossover, it's important to consider the context in which it arrives. The COVID-19 pandemic had a profound impact on television production, and the One Chicago franchise was no exception. Crossovers, which require extensive coordination between the casts and crews of multiple shows, were put on hold due to safety concerns and logistical challenges. The last full-scale One Chicago crossover took place in 2019, making the 2025 event the first in 5 years. The hiatus has only heightened anticipation for the upcoming crossover, which promises to deliver the high-stakes drama and emotional depth that fans have come to expect. Titled In the Trenches, the three-part story revolves around a catastrophic gas explosion at a government building, resulting in a mass casualty event that brings together the heroes of Firehouse 51, Gaffney Medical Center, and the intelligence unit of the Chicago Police Department. The decision to begin the 2025 crossover with Chicago Fire is a strategic one. Driven by the nature of the story being told, the event kicks off with Firehouse 51 responding to a call about a gas explosion, a scenario that aligns perfectly with the Fire and Rescue series' core premise. By starting with Chicago Fire, the narrative can unfold in a logical and chronological manner, allowing viewers to experience the events as they happen rather than through flashbacks or exposition. This approach is particularly effective given the crossover's focus on a mass casualty event. In real-life emergencies, the sequence of events typically begins with first responders arriving at the scene to rescue victims and mitigate the disaster. Only after the initial response do medical professionals step in to treat the injured, followed by law enforcement investigating the cause of the incident. By mirroring this real-world progression, the crossover creates a sense of authenticity and immersion that enhances the storytelling. If Chicago Med were to air first, the narrative would have to rely on flashbacks or exposition to explain how the victims ended up in the hospital, which could disrupt the pacing and confuse viewers. Starting with Chicago Fire ensures that the story unfolds organically, with each subsequent episode building on the events of the previous one. The decision to air Chicago Fire first during the 2025 crossover is consistent with the franchise's established approach to storytelling. Many previous crossovers have followed a similar structure, with Firehouse 51 receiving a call that sets the plot in motion. This initial incident often leads to a chain of events that requires the involvement of both the medical and law enforcement teams, creating a natural progression from Chicago Fire to Chicago Med and finally to Chicago PD. For example, in the 2019 crossover, Chicago Fire aired first, with the firefighters responding to a devastating apartment fire that resulted in numerous casualties. The story then shifted to Chicago Med, where the doctors worked tirelessly to save the victims, and concluded with Chicago PD, as the intelligence unit investigated the cause of the fire and uncovered a larger conspiracy. This format not only ensures a smooth narrative flow, but also highlights the interconnectedness of the three shows and the unique roles each team plays in responding to emergencies. The 2025 crossover follows this proven formula, with Firehouse 51's response to the gas explosion serving as the catalyst for the entire story. By beginning with Chicago Fire, the crossover establishes a strong foundation for the events that follow, allowing Chicago Med and Chicago PD to build on the initial incident and explore its ramifications from their respective perspectives. Temporary schedule changes are a common feature of One Chicago crossovers, as they allow the franchise to tailor the airing order to the specific needs of the story. While Chicago Med typically airs first during regular episodes, the flexibility to adjust the lineup during crossovers ensures that the narrative remains coherent and engaging. This approach has been used in several previous crossovers, including the first-ever three-show event in 2015, which also began with Chicago Fire. Similarly, some crossovers involving only Chicago Fire and Chicago PD have started with the police drama, depending on where the story originates. These adjustments demonstrate the franchise's commitment to prioritizing storytelling over rigid scheduling conventions. For the 2025 crossover, the decision to air Chicago Fire first is a reflection of the story's starting point. Since the gas explosion is a fire-related incident, it makes sense for the Fire and Rescue series to take the lead. This scheduling change is temporary, with the shows returning to their regular time slots the following week, but it plays a crucial role in ensuring the crossover's success. The 2025 One Chicago crossover is more than just a special event. It represents a return to form for the franchise after a prolonged hiatus. By bringing together the characters and storylines of Chicago Med, Chicago Fire, and Chicago PD, the crossover reaffirms the interconnectedness of the One Chicago universe and celebrates the collaborative spirit that defines the franchise. The decision to begin with Chicago Fire underscores the importance of logical storytelling and narrative coherence, ensuring that the crossover resonates with both longtime fans and newcomers. As Firehouse 51, Gaffney Medical Center, and the intelligence unit join forces to respond to the gas explosion, viewers can expect a thrilling and emotionally charged story that showcases the best of what the One Chicago franchise has to offer. The 2025 crossover also serves as a reminder of the resilience and teamwork that define the One Chicago universe. The gas explosion, a catastrophic event, will test the limits of Firehouse 51, Gaffney Medical Center, and the intelligence unit, pushing them to work together under immense pressure. This collaborative effort not only drives the narrative forward, but also reinforces the themes of unity and perseverance that are central to the franchise. Moreover, the crossover provides an opportunity to delve deeper into the personal lives of the characters, exploring how they cope with the emotional toll of such a devastating event. From the firefighters risking their lives to save others, to the doctors working tirelessly to treat the injured, and the detectives uncovering the truth behind the explosion, each character's journey adds layers of depth and humanity to the story. The scheduling change, while seemingly minor, plays a crucial role in maintaining the crossover's momentum. By starting with Chicago Fire, the event captures the urgency and intensity of the initial response, setting the stage for the medical and investigative efforts that follow. This logical progression ensures that viewers remain engaged from start to finish, as the story unfolds in a way that feels both authentic and compelling. The 2025 One Chicago crossover's decision to start with Chicago Fire is a testament to the franchise's dedication to quality storytelling. By aligning the airing order with the natural progression of events, the crossover creates a seamless and immersive viewing experience that highlights the unique contributions of each show. As fans eagerly await the return of this beloved tradition, the 2025 crossover promises to deliver the drama, action, and heart that have made One Chicago a television phenomenon.